Hi everyone, my name's Corinne Devereaux, and for my language experience approach lesson, I chose to do it with a girl I babysit, and she is in first grade, but her current obsession is baking. So I decided to make cake pops for my lesson. Now, I had to do this when I was watching her at her house, and now being that I was at her house and I was with one-on-one with a girl I know. My experience with the LEA wasn't necessarily ideal for what we learned about it in the classroom. So, when I had everything laid out, she has had previous experience with baking all these different types of goodies from holidays or whatever have you. So, she saw everything and she got excited and she wanted to be a part of the process of making these cake pops. So, of course, I didn't want to deny her that experience. So, I had her crumble the cake up with the frosting, mush it together. We poured the chocolate in the chocolate melter, had her do the whole 9 yards, and she had a blast doing it. So, in a way, I'm not upset that I did it that way, but it wasn't the real LEA approach. But I think it kind of helped with her comprehension in the end because that is something her mom stressed to me that she does have difficulty with story comprehension. But in a way, I think it might have helped her in this case. But once we finished making those cake pops, they were, they were something. But once we finished making them, I had her sit down with me and I explained to her that I wanted her to make me a story about what we just did. So she gave me a total of 6 sentences, which I know is kind of a lot for a 6-year-old, but she kept going on, so I didn't want to stop her. But she made me 6 sentences on top of giving me her story title. Now, I did include a picture of the story and the illustration she gave me in the document I'm sending in for my LEA. But I have it here. I'll show you how big it is and what it looks like. Right here. It might be a little backwards, but I have it all right here on my lovely little chart paper. And of course, she titled it A Piece of Cake Pop. She has a different sense of humor for a 6-year-old. I guess more advanced, you would say. But her mom likes to say the phrase, "Oh, that's a piece of cake," all the time. So, of course, she hears it, and of course, every little girl wants to be like their mommy, so she wants to say mommy's phrases. But after she created that story, I read it to her 3 times. And I made sure to use my finger and follow along with the word so she would be able to see the word and hear how it sounds and just put picture to sound. But on the 4th time, I chose to do a close procedure. So I covered up certain words that I highlighted in the story that I'm sending in when I have it up on the document. But I highlighted certain words, and I thought that would help with her comprehension that her mom stressed to me. So, but to my surprise, she did better than I thought she was going to do. She only had one mix-up that I noticed. For the sentence, we put the blank balls on sticks. I covered up the word cake, and she couldn't really remember what she put on the sticks, so I prompted her, and I said, well, what did you smash in the beginning of your story? Trying to jog her on what she said, and that helped her to remember, oh, cake, I smashed the cake. And then she said, we put cake balls on sticks. So, it's a little prompting, but it helped her remember. But after that whole closed procedure, I explained to her that I wanted her to make a picture for each sentence of the story. So all those 6 sentences, she's like, 6 pictures? Yeah, 6 pictures. So she did it. She had a fun time doing it. But before I had her channel her inner Picasso, I had to write the sentences on the paper for her before I had her go and scribble on everything. So I made sure to write the sentences on there for her. And I made sure she had whatever material she wanted to use to create her pictures. So in this case, it was her special crayons and her special markers and colored pencils, the ones that basically don't leave the house. So she came up with all of her illustrations for me. And again, they're in the document that I'm handing in, but I still have some here. Yeah. Her lovely little stick figures. Yeah. And this is me. She gave me a blue dress. And this is her putting the cake balls on the sticks. That's when she put the cake balls in chocolate. And this is me and her eating the cake pop, she explained to me. And not only do I have a blue dress, but now I have a fancy top hat. So she really decked me out. But while she was creating those pictures, I actually kind of went away and I put myself in another room so I could hang up the clothes sign I wanted her to clip the pictures onto. So if I was in a classroom, what I would do if I still had the chalkboard, because everything's turning to smartboards now, but if I had a chalkboard, I would get 2 clips that had magnets on the back, and I would clip one side of the yarn to the other side and hang it up on the chalkboard, or even the tray that we keep the chalk on by the chalkboard, just so it's at their level, because they're 6, they're not gigantic. But in this case, I tied it to 2 of her dining room chairs, and I had it hang down so it's easier for her to access. But so when she finished that, I told her, bring your drawings in here. I need you to do one more thing for me. And so I took her papers. I kind of mixed them up on her, shuffled them a little bit, and I said, okay, one more time I'm going to read you the story. But as I read the story, each sentence I read, you have to find that picture in that sentence. And I want you to read it back to me. And then I want you to clip it onto your clothesline here. And she was like, clothesline? Because of course no one has a clothesline anymore. But I was like, yeah, you're going to clip it there. So she did have fun doing it, and she didn't have any mix-ups, which I was surprised. But I did keep the chart paper next to me, though, in case she had to kind of look to remember, oh, this one. But I didn't see her glance over at it. So I'm thinking maybe it helped with her comprehension, the whole hands-on with the clothes procedure and everything drawing. So to my surprise, it worked for her, and I was very pleased with the results. But I did have fun with this lesson plan. I do want to implement it in my own classroom one day, or even maybe use it for a lesson I have to be observed on in the future. But I did like it, and I did have a good experience with it. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I'll make sure to get you the documents, okay? Thank you.